My colleague Marina Morocco was the first to talk to the superintendent last night. Superintendent spoke publicly today, and she was at that press conference, and we'll go to her now with more.
Lindsay, and he finally spoke after 5 days of silence. This assault took place Thursday morning at Rockville High School, and it wasn't until this afternoon at 5 o'clock where Dr. Smith finally broke his silence. And you'll remember last night we staked out his office waiting for him to finally give us some sort of comment, and we asked him the one question everyone's been asking: why was an adult, an 18-year-old man, enrolled as a freshman sitting in a classroom with children as young as 13 years old? Here's his response from last night. Is there any sort of secondary alternative learning situation for a person like the 18-year-old instead of placing them at a high school with 14-year-olds?
There are a variety of different English learner programs and other programs for older students, but it's, as I said, I can't really speak to the situation.
And last night, Dr. Smith himself confirmed on the record that there are a variety of other programs for older students, in this case an adult, other than placing them at a high school with minors, in this case a 14-year-old. Take a listen to his response yet again today when I posed the question again. Dr. Smith, I'm going to quote you from last night, our conversation. You said, quote, "There are a variety of different English learner programs and other programs for older students, but I can't really speak to the situation because it's an ongoing situation. What you can speak to is that you had an 18-year-old freshman enrolled at a school with 13-year-olds. Was there an oversight, and why was this adult not in one of those variety of other programs that you say you have in this county for older students?"
We have a great number of 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds enrolled across all 25 of our high schools. And that's what the point I was making to you last night when you caught me out by my car. So
why was this adult not in another program? I mean, just to understand why not.
This student was enrolled in the appropriate program to give him the services that he needed, and he chose to do something very, very bad from all of the allegations. People choose to do very bad things. Mostly they don't choose to do them in schools, but sometimes they do. And that is horrible, it's unacceptable, it's tragic. But schools, relative to the rest of the world, are among the most safe places we can be in our community.
Dr. Smith, ultimately this happened during school hours, on school property. Who is responsible?
The student who committed the crime is primarily responsible. I am responsible. All of the people who work in Montgomery County Public Schools are responsible. We all take responsibility for it. It's a terrible, horrible thing. But the student who committed the crime ultimately has to be the one who is responsible for what happened in that, on that morning.
And Tony and Sean, I think we can all agree that we know there are hundreds, if not thousands, of 18-year-olds that are enrolled at Montgomery County Public Schools, but we can also agree that those 18, 19-year-olds, for the most part, if not the majority, are enrolled as seniors, meaning they are soon to graduate. And in this case, the question again that was not answered: why was an adult enrolled as a freshman in a class with students as young as 13 years old? Tony, Sean?
I think that's still the frustration that many parents have as they watch this story and see this tonight. Marina, I'm curious, did it come out at all this afternoon that the school system might rethink this policy and the way they place these students in these special programs with students that could be much younger than them?
I think you saw, Sean, how adamant Dr. Smith has been that this is their protocol, and he will continue to abide by that. And Montgomery County Schools will continue to see, as it seems, 18-year-olds enrolled at freshmen. And then they said that they would place out eventually at 21 years old. So they would typically be in that school for 18, 19, 20, as well as 21. So enrolling as a freshman as a 21-year-old is what we were also told today. Obviously, that's something that has angered not only parents, but you heard Governor Hogan saying earlier today that he too is frustrated that this is their policy and that something needs to give and something needs to change.